Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Taos, Baltimore. We're Baltimore Positive. We're positively here in Pizza John's in Essex. And, man, I pull up. I see the big pizza guy outside and the updated frontage that we have here in beautiful Essex at Back River Neck Road. And I smell the pizza. And I've been here about 2 hours. And all I've had, because I got my doctor's note back this morning after I gave my blood at GBMC, is ice water and lemon. And I got Maryland Treasure scratch-offs as well. My thanks to Sarah David for stopping by. It's all brought to you by GBMC as well as Farnan and Dermer. Nick Stewart is back. He is, according to his chest, running for county executive. So
I have to wear my name on my shirt now.
Well, I mean, I think I've had you on like once a year, every year for a couple of years.
Yeah.
When's the first time you did the show with me over at State Fair as citizen land development Nick guy?
I think 3.5 years ago.
Oh, so it was after the plague then. Okay. Well, Moeller was with me.
That's
I remember that. We sat at the table. I think we were underneath of, I don't know, Cyndi Lauper. I mean, somebody. Joan Jett. It could have been Freddie Mercury, anybody over at State Fair in Catonsville. And I ask you this, and by the way, that's where Wes Moore sat with me when he said to me, and I think with a straight face, and I don't know whether Wes Moore is being honest or not. We can all debate that. Even the Democrats are debating that at this point. But said that he had no intention of running back when I met him. Now, I probably met him in 19. It's probably you could look it up, but it was a nighttime thing. It was Christmas in 19. It was right when the world was going to hell in a handbasket right before that. And so it was Christmas time because my wife came out. She had read his book and all that. But he wasn't in any way overtly running for office. I think the same thing. I met you with another gentleman. We were talking about how land gets divvied up and how the counties roll in this and how government and banking and all the pieces that make a strip mall or a land development or something that's off limits. And I know David Marks has been having a lot of that up here in the northeast side of county.
You got it.
Last time I saw you was in Lansdowne, right? We were at Honey's, right?
Yes, that's right.
Time before that, I saw you in White Marsh at Red Brick Station,
You're
right?
good, yeah, look at you.
So this is the fourth time Nick has been on. So,
but you know, when we first chatted in Catonsville, this was not the plan.
I didn't think it was.
I was trying to avoid this. I was pulling together a platform and a vision of how we solve for a housing crisis that we knew was coming, and in many respects that we were feeling, and a commercial glut crisis like Security Square Mall. And we brought it to the council.
Yeah, I didn't feel like that day.
Rejected.
I can go back, and I didn't think of you as Nick Stewart for Baltimore County or whatever. I didn't even know you, but I felt like a lot of things that Don did with the show were educational based in that he was my high school guidance counselor, and he was much more, and I talked to Sarah David about this, schoolhouse rock. Let me teach people how things work. BAL's doing outrage, and people are pissed, and Fox 45, people go, like, to me, I'm just a dumbass from Dundalk who, you know what I mean, who did sports radio for years. I know a lot about a little and a little about a lot, but, like, how these things get done. I'm going to get Mark Renbaum on here soon, too, to talk to him. I'll be at Planet Fitness next week. Listen, you came on, I think. I didn't feel lobbied. I felt like, all right, you're letting me ask these questions, and how does this work? And that's where you were at that point in your life.
Absolutely. I was trying to wake people up to a crisis we knew that was coming, and now it's here, by the way, because now the average age to buy your first home is over 40 years old, and we've done it to ourselves. We're the fastest shrinking county in the state of Maryland now, and we are losing population for the first time in 100 years. So all the things have really manifested into an unsustainable picture for Baltimore County. We're going to be managing decline pretty soon. That will be the question for us.
Dude, I ran into you in the airport, I don't know, it was like a year ago. I think I was doing a one-day date. I was going somewhere. I ran into you. What do you do in real life? Like you were at the airport. You weren't running for Baltimore County Executive. I think you were like going to Orlando or something like that.
So I work in
Sarah David trying to get my vote by bringing the pizza here today. Schellenberger's going to wind up bringing me crabs or something. No, I'm just kidding. But nonetheless, keep going.
I didn't see it. No, so I do startup work. So I work with startup companies, life sciences, ed tech, aeronautics, engineering on new ideas, new jobs, and on what it takes for those businesses to scale.
You one of them thought leaders?
I don't think so.
No, but that's like what you'll go back to doing if you don't win this election. The election's coming soon. You got a bunch of kids. I've seen your wife. I see you on Facebook. I mean,
we have a mess of kids.
You're getting to, like, you're either going to be not sort of elected Baltimore. I mean, even in the summer, we were going to have a race here. I mean, certainly in this county, right? I mean,
sure.
But you've been running hard and long. I've talked to you as not candidate. I've talked to you as candidate. I have Pat Young coming out in a couple of weeks. Julian, I'll see Julian in Vegas, I'm sure, a couple of weeks. So all of the candidates and where you are right now, where are you in all of this, in this mess?
I think I'm really thrilled with the momentum that we have built. Nobody, when we announced a year ago, in fact, at the end of April 2025, would think that we would arrive at this place where we outraised Izzy Patoka by $70,000 in 2025, where we earned the endorsement of the police union, which is one of the major institutions in Baltimore County, where we got the backing of somebody like former county executive Jim Smith, who helped build out that Renaissance Square just right up the street and showed us what Renaissance is possible in Baltimore County. Continues on. We won the endorsement of the Progressive Dems in Baltimore County, showing that we're building a really broad coalition of solution-minded people. That is what this county needs more so than anything else at this moment. It's coalition.
Well, being the working guy that you are and seeing you in an airport and this running, this whole thing begat because I was thinking about running for mayor, but I wouldn't have thought about stopping my entire life for a long period of time. My wife, who had her own trepidations about that endeavor at that time and after her illness, family and where this has been. I mean, I know you to be a pretty astute fellow who probably has talked to Johnny O and Don Moeller and Al Redmer and people that have done this successfully, running for office, not running for winners, losers, all of that. You've known these people.
Yeah.
Where are you in having stopped your life to do this? I know you're ready to be Baltimore County Executive. You're going to talk in that way, but the more you talk to people, I think you've learned things since the last time I talked to you a year ago at Honey's or whatever it was.
No doubt. I mean, to be just perfectly frank with you, the thing that recharges me the most is trying to find a movie night with the kids and my wife. And if we can do that, it just gives me an entire week's worth of energy and enthusiasm for what I'm doing. I can't say I'm the best dad or husband or even law partner right now. I'm really not. You put your whole heart and soul into this. But I'll say this. My wife, Katie, is a saint, but she's also my closest partner in all of this. One of my most senior advisors. She is all in a way that if she wasn't, I don't think this works, right? I think you have to be in lockstep in a county that you love, or at least in a place that you love, knowing that you want to do everything you can to make it the best it can be. That's where we are together as a couple, and then we're showing our kids, right, that we take risks for other people. We're willing to take risks on our values, and in the short time that we have on Earth, the value we have is to try to solve for or help remediate human suffering. So here we are doing that work and trying to do our very best to build a real coalition of people who have built the most comprehensive plan in Baltimore County's history around housing and revitalization, but also one of the most comprehensive plans for a more affordable Baltimore County.
I think the interesting part of your candidacy for me in talking to council people who've been involved in getting the current Baltimore County executive put into that position, all the hubbub. I mean, Crandall on the east side and the issues Todd's had, and I grew up with Todd, so that is what it is. But you come from this sort of side door into the politics of all of this. Every time I talk to you, it goes back to your strength, which is my strength would be talking Ravens or Orioles. Your strength would be talking about the land and housing and all of that.
Yeah.
You're not hearing about land and freaking housing. Maybe Marx is up here, but in a general sense, you're out knocking doors, trying to get Terry at the service counter here to vote for you.
That's right.
You got Republicans over here, plenty of them right now here in Essex, who can't vote for you on June 23rd, right, because of the way the American. Some people don't even know that. They meet you and say, "Oh, Nick, you're a nice guy.
Yeah.
What are you? Well, you're a Democrat. I'm a Republican. I can't even vote for you in June." Well, see me in November, right?
Yeah.
Whatever you'd say, right? So there's a little bit of that, but there's also this part where what you're hearing. And every time I talk to you, you talk about flight of the county and population, which leads to tax base and leads to these really esoteric things. But then I talked to Carson Kamenetz the other day, and he's telling me all he hears about is traffic, people, crazy people driving.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, dude, I live in Towson. I came over here. I had 3 maniacs trying to run me off the road where the construction is over here in Parkville right now.
Yep.
And it says 45 miles an hour, and I'm like, you can run up my backside. So, if you were the county executive right now, and I were talking to you about my issues in the county. I have a couple of little business things I have or whatever.
Yeah.
But my thing's not schools or, because I don't have a kid in school, right?
But here's, you asked me what we're hearing at the door. I'll tell you this.
Sure, give it to me.
So it's, and yes, we can talk about fastest shrinking. People don't realize that. What they feel in their heart of hearts is that this is not working. And whether it did in the past because more of the same was good enough, it's not now. And so
who are they mad at?
I think they're generally mad at not just the federal level and the chaos that they feel and see, but they're mad at the resignation that they have in themselves, in their communities, in their leaders, that this can't actually get better. Not materially so. Maybe that we can make some changes around the edges, but it can't be big improvements. My whole campaign is oriented around this idea that I need people to believe again that this county can do big things. If you ask people that question, do you think this county can do big things? Typically, the answer is no.
What would be big things for you?
I mean,
listen.
Sure.
I sat across from White Marsh Mall with you. We talked about security. I grew up at East Point Mall. Malls are not. That's not where we're going to be going, right?
Yeah.
And the Towsontown Mall. And I went through this with Sarah a minute ago, and she's running on a legal side of things. But like, you'd be the emperor of the Towsontown Mall and the Towson problem as well. And you go to work every day in Towson. And I live in Towson and I work in Towson. And I was in Towson yesterday. And I'll be in Towson tomorrow.
Example. Like, that is a big thing, right? Number one,
Sure.
Can we improve the mall? Yes, of course we can. Anne Arundel County at Arundel Mills has a substation within their mall. We can do the same thing. Number two, we can also use our special police officer type of model that we have at CCBC for the mall to ramp up mall security. But number three is we can reallocate resources from police to sheriffs. So sheriffs are not doing all that they need to do, as they do in other jurisdictions. That would free up our police to actually be present more at the mall than they are right now. The bigger question is not whether we can solve for it. The bigger question becomes, is Towsontown Mall, is the mall experience really what we should be putting most of our eggs in? Because if you look at East Point Mall and White Marsh Mall and you look at Security Square Mall, this is not the experience that people want. What they want is vibrancy and a live, work, play, learn environment. How do we reorient our thinking about downtown Towson so that it becomes, Baltimore County's true city, but also very approachable, a place where you want to spend your entire afternoon because you have a coffee shop, because you can take your dog and there's an open-air music venue and you can enjoy that, and then you can have a sit-down dinner. The entire
the off-campus university life that would spill over in a good way, in a positive way.
In a great way.
Right.
And think about creating an innovation district, which is what Atlanta did with Georgia Tech. That's oriented around tech and commerce, for example, right there off campus. But it provides graduate housing. It provides incubator and accelerator
Provided
space.
me pizza and beer last year when I saw Pearl Jam a year ago this week in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah?
So I went there, yeah.
All right.
I check out what other cities are doing. I checked out Medellin since the last time you and I got together. So
Okay.
they can fix Medellin, we can fix Baltimore,
There
trust
you
me.
go. You're living a more interesting life than I am. But in any event, point being, you asked what are the big things? We can do them. These are just an example, a small subset of what we actually are talking about. A more modern Baltimore County is a more inclusive and affordable one.
Nick Stewart's here. He's running for Baltimore County. I always say county, but county executive on the Democratic side.
My little 5-year-old, Willie, he says county executive.
How many kids you got?
I have 4.
How old are they?
They are 10, 8, 6, and 5 right now.
I'm exhausted. I better send you home with a pizza. Cheese, though, right? Because these kids are picky, right?
I know. Yes. Although my little one, Will, has the most interesting taste in the world. He likes like a spicy salami. Make that make sense.
I'll get you pepperoni over here, man. Nobody does pepperoni. I mean, when I had Brett here, he talking about the Hormel number 4s. You got I don't know the number. I'm making that up. But, like, serious pepperoni we have on the east side. I always kid him here that the ham is imported from Dundalk here to Essex. So you could be the county executive of both of them. You're banging doors, and I was going to talk to Sarah about this because she and I had a conversation.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation literally this morning with Dr. Steve Elliott, who joined me last week at Coco's, about banging on doors, and Moeller saying to me when I was going to run for mayor, I was going to bang on doors. And it's essential. It's how you get voted. Like, I hear all of that.
Yeah.
You're out doing it, I guess, from Woodlawn to Hereford Zone to
Absolutely.
Middle River to wherever you're ever going. You're probably leaving here and banging doors. What are you getting? When you bang on a door, somebody comes out, sees this tall, handsome man and says, county executive, I'm a Republican, I can't vote for you. Do you talk to him? I don't know. You tell me what because 50% of the people can't vote. Well, let's start. 50% of people aren't registered. Let's see that,
No,
right?
100%.
I mean, I'm sure you're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah.
That's so. I don't want to take your time from my time, but the one thing that I got from South American people when I traveled through South America and met educated people, I met a woman in Uruguay whose husband name was Nestor, so you know she was smart. And her broken English and a little bit she could speak to me, and I since looked her up. She's politically oriented, but she said to me, "You are American. Your vote, you have the most powerful vote
interesting.
in the world."
Yeah.
I'm a woman in South America. Your vote is gold for how the world operates.
Right.
And to think that you've used it, the majority of your people have used it on this man.
Yeah.
Like, this is how you see it when you live in
this is,
Salto, Uruguay.
And we're expecting low turnout this year because
that's
there isn't a
insane
competitive,
to me,
right.
Given gas prices, war, division, families, right? I got people in here that won't talk to me because they vote for Trump and they think that I need to be on that side and that I'm not American enough if I don't have a Trump bumper on.
Yeah.
Like, we're in really crazy ass times to be knocking on doors and saying I'm running for office, and then what you say to that human
but
who's
remember,
answering their door.
But part of the equation here is twofold. Number one, as against all the chaos at the federal level, we want to find ways to make a difference. And many people, they want to contact their congressman or help people register to vote for the next congressional election. It's all good. But there's a lot of healing and help that we can provide at the local level, whether it is housing.
Everything is local. You're not calling Donald Trump for anything.
Right.
You're not calling Johnny O for much or Kwesi, literally, right?
No,
that's right. I'm calling Chris Van Hollen if ICE comes in here and pulls my ass out of here right now, like literally, asking what my last name is and where I went to school and if I speaky or not. You know what I mean? Like, there's crazy stuff going on, right? But they're calling you. They're calling the county. They're calling the cops. They're calling their local people, right?
This is where you feel your government most, and this is where we get to step into the breach as a people. Nestor, it's not about me. It's not about any of the people running for county executive. Not really. It's about what we are trying to do with this tool called government to try to empower communities, take power out of the hands of Towson, and put it with communities who need to be able to solve their own problems in partnership with us as a government. That's what this should look like. I am nobody's savior. None of us are anybody's savior here. This is about the people who need these tools to work, and we don't have them right now because we have too much chaos at the federal level, because people don't believe that Baltimore County can do big things again, because in Randallstown, they've had 4 revitalization plans in 45 years and very little has happened. Or on the east side of the county, a place that has maybe the greatest potential investability has been languishing. It has a market train station, for heaven's sakes. It has an airport. It's going to have a port. And we have not provided a comprehensive vision of investment, in decades. This is the challenge we face.
Nick's here. My pizza's over here, and I'm going to go get a slice of pizza.
You need me to riff?
No, I'm going to put my headset down and just let you host the show for 45 seconds because I see the plates and the napkins and the Pizza John's Pizza. We're here. It's all brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. I'll let you select your Maryland Treasures ticket as well. Sarah took the horses, so I got to get the Aztec horses. Also GBMC, where I walked a mile in their shoes at GBMC 2 weeks ago on the South Chapman. I also took a needle and had my medicals there. So, the BC, Baltimore County, Baltimore County. He's running for Baltimore County Executive. Also, Farnham and Durham are located in Owings Mills in Baltimore County as well. I'm here in Baltimore County in the east. I just went all the way around the Beltway, right?
There you go.
I'm going to be a fisherman's fishmonger's daughter in Catonsville on the 21st. We're going to be at Lexington Market in the city, down here in the city, where it's good to go. And I was down there yesterday for the Orioles game. We'll be at Fadley's on the 13th for the crab races. Ivan Bates is going to come out and talk about Law and Order that day as well. Luke's going to be there. And then I'm at Planet Fitness in Timonium next week. Mark Viviano is going to come out and teach me about sports. Marty Bass is going to come out, and I'm going to kiss his ass and tell him how wonderful he is and what a great friend he's been. He's never been allowed to come on my show because he works at CB and the Westinghouse, Infinity. So anyway, Marty's going to come out, and I'm going to tell him how much I love him. So that's at Planet Fitness. And I'll be in the county a few times here. So I'm going to get some pizza. Tell everybody about your platform. It's going to take me 45 seconds to get back, and then I'm going to have all the gotcha questions because I got to get some pizza here. Give me your website and do all that.
Sure.
Pizza, plate, and I'll be back here in 2 seconds. Go ahead.
All right. All right, friends. So let's just distill it down real quick as to why we are doing what we are doing here in Baltimore County. Losing population, fastest shrinking county, and instead of fighting and dying on the Hill for you, we have folks who tried to double their pensions in 2024, and it only came out because in 2026, the former chief administrative officer found out and whistle blew, in effect. And so it is my belief that we can do things differently. We can do them better. We need a plan to get there, and we are the only ones who built that plan through 500 individual conversations across this county and sit-downs. We built out a plan to make this county more affordable and inclusive and modern. And the truth is, we can choose it. We can be one county. We can be a comprehensive whole instead of this fractured North County, Towson, East, West. We should be one. And so that's our opportunity. And I'll just say, Nestor, what this looks like ultimately for Baltimore County is $200,000 starter homes and revitalized town centers all across this county. Number two, we're talking about an Office of Childhood Hunger. A third of our children live in extreme poverty in Baltimore County Public Schools.
1/3 of our children.
1/3. This is 33,000 plus children who live at $40,000 or less for a family
the angry
of four.
Republican would say, "What about the illegals and unregistered and all?" Where are those numbers? We're not even counting some of the kids, right?
Yeah, right. So we don't.
Every time I've had somebody talking about poverty in the county, they've always said, these are just the numbers we have. The numbers are sick, but the numbers aren't even right.
Well, the numbers are not right. They do discount some of those who have a hard time being self-reported.
It's a hell of a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
Well, I talk about this when I talk about pantries and I talk about Culper Super Bowl, that, I don't know, you drive down, like, I have, I'll just tell a quick story. I came in here for a cheesesteak 2 weeks ago. My wife was out of town. She was in Italy. She was in Italy. I was in Little Italy. She was in Italy. I was in an Italian restaurant in Essex.
That works.
And I didn't even get an Italian-style cheesesteak. But I got a cheesesteak here, and I had half of it in a bag, and I had pizza. And my wife was out of town. I got a salad. And you could see the pizza here. By the way, this is the delicious Pizza John's cheese pizza.
There you go.
Sun-drenched here as we sit in the sunroom here at Pizza John's. But I had half cheesesteak. And don't tell John Kemp, but I still get my gas at Royal Farms. And I went right over to where the skate land in Essex, where I met Heidi back in 1981, right up Old Eastern Avenue, where we ran from that rival gang from Hawthorne that night that we tried to pick up their girls down here to the A1 Crab House. And next to the Thunderbird. Joe's and Hands Corners, for those of you knowing Essex. And I went up to the Royal Farms, and I was pumping my gas. And dude in a wheelchair came rolling toward me while pumping gas. It was a little cold out that night. And I had a sandwich, and he had a caregiver in the parking lot of the Royal Farm on Eastern Avenue. And I had a sandwich in the car, and I pumped my gas, and I got in, and I didn't have any money. I don't carry, I don't have a lot of money. And I thought, I got half this sandwich right now. It was still hot. It was still hot. It was still in the wrapper. Still warm. And I went over, and I gave it to him. I haven't told that story. That kind of shit drives me crazy, right? But here's a guy starving. He was so. I said, "This is still warm. I got this. I love Pizza John's." He said, "I love." He did. He said, "I swear to God." So I give him this food, and I'm thinking to myself, "Man, every night this is what you're talking about." I haven't talked about it, but that's we've all seen it somewhere somehow.
But here's the
you know
issue.
what I mean? Go ahead.
We don't have.
I don't know where that guy's going tonight. Guy didn't have legs.
Yeah.
Guy didn't have legs. He was in a wheelchair. I don't know how he got fed the next day. And I haven't told this, but I mean, wow. Right. Have I seen poverty in Baltimore County? I just didn't I? I just told you about it, right?
Yeah.
Literally.
But we don't see it we don't have to see it that much. This is how fractured we really are. We can drive past it or drive around it without actually internalizing what is happening. We have some major pockets of poverty in Dundalk and Essex and Cockeysville, and then over on the northwest side of the county that would surprise people, I think, fully and deeply, and upset them. That these are kids who are going to bed hungry, right? They are coming to school hungry. They get maybe 2 meals at school. That's great.
What can you do as county executive for that?
So much.
Let's talk about
acknowledge that
you
it's
got
on.
Indignant, I can tell.
It's
let's
on
go.
us.
Yeah, let's go.
Look, I mean,
Candidate Stewart.
I love Student Support Network and the organization. They have done God's work in trying to feed
I've
hungry
had them
children.
on many times, yes.
But they have a waiting list now of over 34 schools. This is not
And
acceptable.
they're already in a bunch of schools.
They are
right?
in a bunch of schools,
Yeah.
but over 34 schools still on the wait list. This is unconscionable that we have outsourced this work. Doesn't mean they don't have a role to play. We should be, as government, providing the base, the collaborating base, the platform around which this type of effort, a unified joint effort, can be made to solve for childhood hunger in Baltimore County. And that includes working with the Westmore administration and the Enough Act that was passed, and the idea that we can solve for generational poverty if we do it in the right way using the different levels of government. We have lots of great, nonprofit resources, church and faith institutions who are working on food insecurity. But my God, we have arrived at the tipping point. And it will now define our moral character if we choose to continue down the same path, or if we choose to define who we are, which is a more inclusive county that has a belief that there's dignity in every single person, that every child deserves to have some measure of safety and security in this world. That's who we're going to be. Then we need to finally do the work.
Well, I mean, you have to look up and want to be involved in this. You have to vote, be registered to vote. By the way, Nick Stewart is here. I'm being disrespectful. We're talking about hunger, and I'm sitting here eating pizza at Pizza John's. But I was hungry. I haven't eaten in a couple hours. I don't usually eat on the air, but I figured you'd do some talking. You promised me you'd talk.
No, I have one more story for you. And
sure, go ahead.
I wanted to bring it
I'll
home.
eat some more pizza if you don't. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
We do a lot of door knocking, as you say, and there was a time where we're knocking a little south of Route 40, still technically Catonsville, and we are knocking these doors.
You say Route 40 to me? I think you mean Rosedale.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Very fair. Very fair.
Where are you from?
To clarify it.
Where are you from?
I'm from Timonium.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. You define like Bologna.
I live in
York
Catonsville now.
Yes.
Come on.
Which side of seminary? You got all sorts. Go ahead. Keep going.
Got you. So we're knocking doors. We come out of the one door. It was a fine conversation, and look over. We see some neighbors on a porch. It's a single-family home, but this is not a well-to-do neighborhood. And they kind of inquire, like, hey, what's going on? What are you guys doing? And so we walk over there and we chat with them. They invite us in the house, which is really quite nice. They have 2 kids. They're not super well-dressed, but you start
What percentage of people invite you into their house?
It's few. I mean, like 10,
okay.
5%, 10%.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
So we walk inside and you start to fully take in their life circumstances, what they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. They have a hole in the floor of their kitchen that their kids have to walk around and make sure that they don't fall in. Their appliances are not working. They have not had working utilities. And you start to realize this is a true reflection of some of the measure of suffering that exists in Baltimore County. And this is not a one-off. This is not isolated. We have got to acknowledge, so 44% of our families live in some form of poverty in Baltimore County. It's not just about kids, it's about families. And this means that they cannot afford just the basics. This is human survival income. They can't afford all the basics in life. This is
toothpaste, simple stuff. Right. Yeah, sure.
Affording to even go to their jobs, for example, affording energy, affording groceries. 2/3 of us are choosing between groceries and other essentials right this minute. The level of need is now so outsized that we have to do something about it, and we have to acknowledge that we can only do something about it if we grow the pie. This is not about the East Side benefiting because the West Side didn't and they suffered. This isn't the politics of scarcity, that if only we build the walls high enough, we'll have enough school seats or enough homes or enough jobs to go around if we just keep people out. That's not what this is anymore. This is about embracing our strength, embracing our belief in inclusion, and acknowledging that we are better and far stronger if we are growing, more dynamic, more competitive all at once.
So Trump leans down on you and says he's sending ICE in to get Nestor, and everybody looks like Nestor. Like, what power do you have on that level? Because some of that stuff, the federal stuff's with. I ran into Martin O'Malley 2 weeks ago. I invited him on, as I've always done. He acknowledged that he's been invited on. But Social Security being in Baltimore County, and he said something funny to me like, I'm sure people want to hear me talk about Social Security. I'm like, actually, I do. Actually, I do, because it is in Baltimore County, and it is
critical to them.
It's critical to every American in every way that, Mr. Nazi boy with the Doge cuts and the chainsaw isn't coming for Republican or Democrat, black or white, east or west, male or female.
Yeah.
Social Security important. There's just a lot of things in our county that are government related, above and beyond my school, my police, my benefits, red lights, potholes, all of those kinds of things going on. What got you over the edge to want to run? Like what
happened
happened
let's talk about
between,
the federal stuff real quick.
Yeah, sure.
If you don't
Go
mind.
ahead. Sure, yeah.
So what I'd like to just point out there is there's far more capacity that we have to fight than we think. So I am the only candidate who has stood up, stated publicly that we will terminate the MOU that we entered into with ICE. And that is part of the issue here in Baltimore County. We have a memorandum of understanding with ICE to cooperate with them. There are implications now with state laws that were passed, and whether that changes it, we need to look into.
It pissed me off, but I don't know that it should have as much as it did. It pisses me off I was in Minnesota a couple weeks ago when Springsteen played, right? And I walked through those streets there and realized what happened. I'm like, people here are living their lives, and people are just coming in here and throwing people around.
Yeah.
Not even based on what they said, which is, are you a criminal or not? And everybody in Hartford County, I mean, I feel awful for the young lady in the woods, but I'm Hispanic. I had nothing to do with that. And to be profiled at this point in American history in that way, it's disgusting.
It's disgusting. And, we passed 2 laws that we said we're going to address it. They didn't. The administration has made very clear, the Kathy Klossmeyer administration, that this doesn't change our cooperation arrangement with ICE. We have an Office of Immigrant Affairs that has not been well funded. There's only 3 people who do that work, even though 13% of our population is foreign-born. We have a Commission on Immigrant Affairs that hasn't been meeting nearly at all. We haven't had a schools protocol to deal with ICE. It's now on first reader. Someone has introduced it, which is wonderful. Shout out to Christina and the work that they are doing. But true that we haven't gone far enough there. We don't report out or collate and report out ICE activity to all of our neighbors in Baltimore County. Government should be doing this. And then we haven't really stepped into the breach to say we're going to litigate. If you cross this red line, we will be litigating with you. As a lawyer, I think that's relevant. Sometimes you have to fight, sue and be sued in order to protect people's rights.
Well, when you're knocking doors, are you hearing about traffic, crime, schools, taxes? I mean, I'm sure as a politician they're bitching to you about gas prices. I mean, just stuff that you can't affect at all.
There's some of that.
But when people do understand what you're doing and they love Kathy or hate the fact that she was appointed or were mad at Johnny O or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
The general temperature isn't, well, I'm paying too much in taxes, and you saying, well, we're losing population, which is why taxes either have to go up or services or how we distribute that money. And we'll get to the bridge in a minute because that does talk about money, and that's where federal comes in. And I'm like, all right, who's screwing with the bridge? Because that's going to screw all of us.
But no, so it is taxes and fees. It's this idea that we just don't have enough to go around, and I feel very pinched. And the government is pinching me. But look, our property tax assessments in Baltimore County increased 2 years ago on average by 24%. Last year, they increased on average by 11%. This is the housing crisis come home. We are experiencing that in this very moment. So I get to talk to them about how we would help solve for this and make it less expensive to live in Baltimore County. We
make it more attractive to come to the county. We have a bigger tax base. We can do more things.
We can do more things. And by the way,
that is your big things principle. But also, it's going to take more money to do big things.
No doubt.
Okay.
But it also will lower people's property taxes in that we will not feel this pinch of the scarcity, right? Supply and demand. There's not enough homes. As a result, everyone's home that does exist in Baltimore County goes up in price or assessment. And that's what we are feeling on the tax side of the house. So that is a big issue. You also talk.
It's good that your house goes up in value, right?
But only to a degree, right? Because at some point that actually forces you out of the house. You can't afford it anymore. And that's the problem.
Well, that was California's problem years ago, right? When we moved to California, that house is $3 million. What?
Right. And so now we have a bunch of seniors who are feeling on fixed income. So like, I have to make a move. I have to make hard choices to move out of this place that I helped build. And that works against that moral fabric that we've talked about here. So we do face real significant challenges and questions. We hear about crime as well. So some of it is perceived, but some of it is very real. And it's the sense that if you look around like Security Square Mall, you go there, you go to Towson, you go to East Point Mall, they're not well patronized. There's not a lot of people who are there. There is a feeling of insecurity when you go there. And by the way, we don't have enough police officers. We want to do community policing. A police officer used to walk by every business in Towson once every 8 minutes. There was enough of them.
Oh, really? Okay.
And we don't do anything close to that level of community policing at this point. And that's because we were down 300 police officers. We'll be down another 200 in the next 18 months.
How can you make that job more attractive just fundamentally, right? Not even financially, just spiritually. I mean, this is an American issue right now with policing. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
I think you tell them that we've got your back. Like, you want a take-home program because every other jurisdiction surrounding you has a take-home program. We got your back. You want You want rifle-rated plates because we promised them, and there was an incident 2 years ago where a suspect shot through the plate. We got your back. We'll deliver those. We haven't. They want more licensed seats to use gun crime technology. They have to share passwords right now. We got your back. We'll give you more of them. They only get 2 uniforms right now instead of 5 for the entire week. We got your back. There's a way of saying these things and making it so that people understand on a very difficult job. We believe it's one of the 3 fundamental pillars of investment in the county, together with public safety and public infrastructure. We have to have public education, public safety, and public infrastructure. Those are the 3.
Nick Stewart's here. He's running for Baltimore County Executive. We're here at Pizza John's. I'm slicing. That's about a half, right? Maybe a third.
You did good.
I got bad news from GBMC this morning about me making some lifestyle changes. People see my pictures up on social media and are like, how do you eat all of this and stay skinny? And I'm like, well, that's Planet Fitness. We'll be there next week in Timonium.
There you go.
And that's my hot yoga mat.
But you can indulge, right?
Let me tell a true story, all right, while you're here, Citizen Nick, and then I'll give you your platform. And by the way, John Hoey and Elizabeth here, everybody's here. We're doing Y stuff. And John Allen does not have COVID. So he's going to come by. We're going to have rock star conversation here from Essex and a tribute to Brian Jack of Essex a little later on as well. But we went to the supermarket the other day, Wise Markets, after Easter, and the hams were on sale, 99 cents. So this is what I'm blaming it on. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm blaming it on this.
The ham.
Well, and that I haven't over the last 2 weeks. I didn't know they were taking my blood. I haven't had a physical in 25 years.
Set yourself up
She
for
said
failure.
we're going to get some labs, and I'm like, I did that with Mr. Schulin over at Hollowbird Middle. Labs. No, we're going to take your blood. That's what a lab is. And I'm like, oh, no, not these veins. I'm such a sissy, dude. You have no idea what a sissy I am.
You weren't just afraid of what it was
My
going to
wife
show?
wasn't even there to hold my hand. And the lady got a hold of me and took my blood. And I woke up this morning, and I didn't even shave today. I felt like it's Friday. I'm in Essex. I'm doing radio all day. I got up this morning. But this morning I made a deal with Luke that if the Orioles win the first 3 games, I got to take him to New York Monday night.
Uh-oh.
It's going to be 71 in New York Monday night. John likes it. I'm going in anything New York he likes. The Yankees are playing Monday night. So if they sweep the Yankees the first 3, I got to take Luke to New York on Monday night. So this morning I get up, and I'm about to get in the shower, and I got my chart. All this stuff that my wife had to go through when she almost died twice, which I've been trying to avoid. All this medical, all this colonoscopy that I had to deal with last year with GBMC.
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid the man.
Yeah.
And I get the little blood. I'm about literally getting in the shower to come over here to eat the pizza. And, I wanted a cheesesteak. I was jonesing. I thought John was going to help me eat some fries and gravy because I got to have friends to eat that. Right? That's how I looked at my
pulling
A1C
people into your
how
orbit.
I looked at my
Sure.
If I have friends to eat it, I didn't eat that much of it. Therefore, how bad can it be for me, right?
We're in this together.
I looked down and I got my wife was working. She was on a conference call, and I got doctor says unfortunately was the first word, and I'm like, come on, man.
Look.
She's the unhealthy one. I'm cool. I told the doctor. I said I'm healthy, and that's nothing serious. But this was her little poke at me.
Okay.
To
No more ham?
You see, I got a cheese pizza here, man. And this is
Protein.
Is this the low-fat cheese, Brett? No, it's not the low-fat cheese. Probably wouldn't taste nearly that good. All right, give your speech. But anyway, I ate all this ham.
Yeah.
My wife made split pea soup. She made bean soup. I had this, I had that, I had the other. I probably had something else that was fried in the last couple of days. And I gave blood. I said, This would be like knowing you're getting drug tested and having too much at the Van Halen concert the weekend before. This would be like having to get up and give a speech in the morning and drinking too much. This would be like not prepping for the exam. And I thought to myself, nobody told me I was going to have to give blood and that I should have eaten better the couple days before I went.
That's
so
right.
I'm blaming it on that. And my wife, of course, she's a little more pragmatic. She's like, cookies this week. She's like, it's all that fried stuff you like. I said, but I didn't eat a whole lot of that this week. So
they're going to track it.
I got spanked by my doctor.
That's what they're there for.
On the day I wanted a cheesesteak at Pizza John's.
Well, when you go up to Yankee Stadium, you're going to keep it tight, right?
No, well, you have more confidence in my wife. When she looked at me, I went in, I said, I promised everyone if the Orioles win 3 in a row, I'm going to New York on Monday. She said, you'll be working in the other room on Monday.
We just hit 2 grand slams. What are you talking about?
You won't have to cancel that appointment. So you're running for county executive. Give everybody the spiel that you have. I mean, more than anything, and I want to give everybody, this politician, register to vote. Please register. I mean, I'm sure you're banging on doors, and that's like number one thing is they can't vote for you or against you or if they don't register. So that's
just remembering that Johnny won by 17 votes, right? So we have to think about that. In a county that had 90,000 people voting, Johnny won by 17. So every person matters. Existentially, that's of course true. But in reality, every vote matters in Baltimore County. It can come down to just the narrowest of margins.
All right, give your speech. Give me 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I'll say this, Nestor.
Give you a chance to give you the first 30 when I got the pizza. And Julian and Izzy, you'll get your minute.
We'll close it out with this.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that Baltimore County has a sameness problem. The folks I'm running against have 32 years of full-time elected experience between them. And if you love the direction of Baltimore County, I'm not your guy. Make no mistake about that. I get it. But if you do believe in a fresh start and in fresh ideas, and the only person with a plan to actually get to a county that's affordable and inclusive and modern, that sees communities like this one as the gems and the anchors that they are for the future of Baltimore County, then that is what we have to offer. We don't have to keep doing what we are doing. And if we continue doing what we're doing, that is not a one county vision that we all want to be a part of. We have to choose differently. This is the time.
A lot of folks are recommending and endorsing Nick. He's raised more money. You already started with that, raising money.
It's
still raising money. Still having bull roasts and
100%.
Still tending bar. What are we doing here the next 8 weeks? What are we doing to raise money?
We're doing a bunch of fundraisers. We have one coming up actually next week on Wednesday in Parkville at the Urban Crab Shack. So come on out if you want to be a part of that. Details on the website for sure. And then we have a few more events that'll be listed there as well for folks to see and find.
All right. I want everybody to participate in the political process. We had Pat Dyer on the Republican side on 2 weeks ago at Costas, and I'll continue ahead. I know I have other candidates. Pat Young's going to join me in Catonsville. I know Mandy Remmel's coming out. I'm meeting new people. I had never met Sarah David until I was here, and I felt guilty because I didn't feed her pizza, but I did give her a slice for the road. We're at Pizza John's. She took the acetate courses. If you feel so inclined, I will pull the acetate courses out. But I have Bay Bridge, I have Boardwalk, and I have mollusks, herons, and crustaceans and birds. Which one do you want?
I mean, I love them, but I'm going to do the Boardwalk because that's where I hope to take the kids after this.
Yeah, I'll be down in Mako in August. We'll be down there in Ocean City, Maryland. All are brought to you by friends at the Maryland Lottery in conjunction with our partners at GBMC. I already proved I didn't listen to my doctor. I mean, I'm 3 hours into this.
The redemption tour continues.
And I'm making up stuff about low-fat cheese. At least I called off the pepperoni.
You're making great choices.
I have had freeze that split pea soup and bean soup I've been eating here all week. And I went to the Oriole game. Curio Wellness. Wendy hit me. She got stuck with tickets on a doubleheader.
There you go.
I'm watching third inning of the game. I said to my wife, we're not getting any food at the ballpark. Eat before you go. What my dad used to say to me. G&A Highlandtown, we get a hot dog. Eat before you go in. I ain't paying no ballpark prices. So we get out there, and my buddy Brian Poole's brother-in-law runs Heritage Smokehouse.
Oh, yeah.
And they were the ballpark vendor, and they had brisket. I'm sure it was low-fat. You know, so my wife, she's getting beer and brisket. We're sitting at the ball game. The sun's shining. We're losing 10-0. They're kicking the ball around like the bad news Bears. It's good news for you, John, this weekend. But so I had brisket. So
You've got your fill.
I got to go back.
They redid that menu.
I got to go back to blanched broccoli and oil and vinegar, balsamic.
Okay.
No butter. I got to go back to whole wheat.
So
brown rice.
This next one, we're going to meet at like a Whole Foods. Is that what's going on?
I don't know. I'm at Planet Fitness on the 7th next
go.
week, so come join me out there. Mark Viviano will be there trying to keep me skinny, Mr. Marathon guy. Marty Bass, who still looks like $1 million even though he's retiring, he's going to join me. We'll be at Planet Fitness. It's all brought to you by the Maryland Lottery, GBMC, and our partners at Farnan and Durham are 410-367-7777. I'm eating pizza. You're dismissed as Citizen Stewart.
Thank you.
You want some pizza for the kids? All agree on cheese, right? Low fat, especially.
Absolutely. If you're offering, we're doing it.
I got to get Brett out here and find if they really have low-fat cheese pizza here. We're at Pizza John's in Essex. We're going to talk about the why. Why because we care, and they're community, and I'm community, and they've been in the news a lot lately, so I have a lot of questions. And also, John Allen is going to be here, rocking and rolling later on. He hit me yesterday. He said, I got COVID, dude. And I said, get tested. He got tested. He doesn't. I'm going to change the spit guards. Trust me.
Aren't you considerate?
Everybody knows John's one of my best friends in life, and his band's coming back together later on in the month down in Columbia. Child's Play putting the rock and roll back together again, and I got a great AI story for John that I can't wait to tell him. We're back for more Peach Johns. We talk about community with our friends at the Y. Luke's got you covered on the Orioles and Ravens side. If there's any breaking news, it's all brought to you by Cole Roofing and Gordian Energy. Get on that. It is our best service, even when Trevor Rogers is going on the IL. You know what I mean? You still want to know first.
Hits keep coming.
Calais Campbell's back. That's good. It's good for the character building that we're trying to do around here in Baltimore. Back for more Pizza John's. I'll continue to build character and lose calories. Back for more right after this. We're Baltimore Positive.